Welcome back. So, you don't actually feel your body the way you think you do. Most of what you experience is a mix of sensation and prediction. And if you can't tell the difference, you can't trust what you're feeling. So let's separate signal from guess and then use it to get a clear yes or no. So remember our hand exercise from the first video. So we're going to hold our hands out in front of you. Put your attention in one hand and just notice temperature, pressure, sensation, whatever. Now move your attention to the other hand and notice what changes. So cool. So if something changed, it matters because your hands didn't move, your attention did, and the sensation changed. So most people think they feel their body directly, but they don't. What you're feeling is a mix of real sensory input and your brain's prediction. So your brain fills in gaps constantly, and that's efficient, but it's not always accurate. Attention changes how your system samples the information. So scattered attention means more prediction, and clear attention means stronger signal. So when your attention is precise, the signal sharpens. So that sensation, that shift you felt, that is your system updating its internal map. It's not magic, it's just better information. So now let's apply it. We'll use a simple yes/no. So think of a simple question and keep it neutral. Present time, low stakes, very low stakes, no emotion. So do I want tea right now or do I want to go outside? And hold the question lightly. Then place your attention in your body and notice, does anything change? Could be a shift, a subtle expansion or contraction, a change in clarity. Don't interpret it. Just notice if something updates. And so if there's a clear change, that's signal. If nothing changes, that's not a no. That's no clear signal yet. And this is important. This is where a lot of people go wrong. This only works if you're relatively calm, so you don't want to be rushed or anxious. And the question is simple, so no emotional load. Like you don't want to say, do I date this person or not? That's a lot of emotion right there. And also that your attention is steady and you're not trying to force an answer. The moment you push, you're back into prediction. So the missing piece here is trust. Even when people feel a real signal, they tend to doubt it. This method doesn't remove the doubt. It gives you something to test. Trust comes from asking low stakes questions, noticing the response, and checking what actually happens over and over. That's how your system learns this signal is reliable. Okay, so I use this with predicting cards colors, or you can use it with Zener cards. You can just pick something. I mean, who cares if it's red or black, right? There's no emotion to that. So you can test your signal on something like that, and you do it over and over. You will find over time you become better and better at this. With the Zener cards, my current experiment is I have the square, the circle, and the wave that I've pulled out of the deck. There's about 17 cards. And I just mix them up and shuffle them, and I keep them on a bureau. And every time I walk by the bureau, I stop and I pull a card and I try and find what shape it is. And I went from getting like maybe 6 or 7, 8 correct to getting 16 out of 17 right. And I've started to pay attention to when I get them right and when I get them wrong. One thing that I learned, I'll share with you, it's kind of embarrassing, but if I have to go to the bathroom, I cannot guess correctly. I cannot predict correctly what shape is going to come up. And so that disrupts my signal, and I know that about me, right? So then that makes other things easier when you know what impacts your signal. So, you know, a rule to keep this clean is if it changes its signal, if it doesn't, there's no clear signal yet. And if you keep checking the same question repeatedly, you've left signal and gone back to guess. So that's why, the cards can be useful, because you're not doing the same 2 cards, you're doing a whole deck. So you're giving yourself other options. So if this is hard for you to feel in your body, you can use your hands, but they're not giving you the answer. They're just making that shift easier to notice. If you're trying to make something happen, you're back in guess. So this is where intuition actually starts. It's not with belief or guessing, but with learning to detect what is real and what isn't.